What is going on, everyone? Welcome back to the LFC Transroom live stream. We're joined by Chedu, Anthony, and Adam, and we're going to be talking through our awards now, different players of the season. But first of all, lads, how are we? Are we all right?
Yeah.
Fantastic.
We're all happy after we secured our third place finish. We don't know how that happened, but we are here. We made it, boys. We made it to the Champions League. Get your comments into the comment section below. Just get your thoughts on our different awards. So we've got several awards to go through this afternoon. We've got Player of the Season, Young Player of the Season, Academy Player of the Season, Goal of the Season, Moment of the Season, Surprise of the Season, and Signing of the Season. So, boys, we may as well start at the bottom. Signing of the Season. So, hope we're all okay. Signing of the Season. So, we're going to start with our usual guest, Adam. What was your signing of the season, mate?
100% has to be Jota. Like, no arguments. No, I'm not going to disagree if someone has. I mean, Thiago's up there as well, obviously, but yeah, no, Jota hands down. I mean, he's had an incredible season for a debut season. Stepping into the Liverpool team as well, like that, come off from just winning the league, and he's coming in to replace players like or like compete with players for games like Mane, Salah, Firmino. Like, so I mean, he's come in with a lot of pressure on his shoulders, like, and I think he's had an incredible season. And if he wasn't injured, probably in December. After that Midtjylland game, he could have went on and scored maybe even a couple of more goals. But for the way he ended the season, I just think it was incredible. So, yeah, hands down, Jota for me.
Anthony, you agree, mate?
I agree with Adam. I've got Jota as well. Thiago, I was thinking of at first, but I just remembered everything that Jota done before he got injured. And you know what? I'm very excited for him next season as well. Imagine him with like a fully fit squad, Van Dijk, Gomez, maybe Konate as well. Obviously Jota, he could be part of the front three a lot more, and yeah, get some more goals for him.
Steve is coming with physio Chris Morgan.
Phenomenal signing, in my opinion.
people blaming him though, like they just don't even know what goes on behind the scenes. Like, come on, you got to calm it down. And make sure you subscribe to the channel, by the way, as it says on the rolling screen below. So close to 850. I don't know if we've hit it or not yet, but we might have. Chedu, signing of the season.
Yeah. First of all, hey Kiyomi, thank you. Mate of mine doesn't know football as far as I know, but still here to support. Thank you, everyone else who's also here. Really appreciate it. Signing of the season. To say something different, I'll say Thiago. Jota, of course, what is it? 14 goals and assists in 17 starts, something like that. I can't remember exactly. But I'll say Thiago. I think, of course, he was heavily criticized for quite a while, but the last few games, but when he was in midfield with
Blackhammer, do you want me to go and get my jacket on, mate? I'll go and get my jacket on if you want. Shall I go do it?
Go do it. You're the host. You're the host. Go do it. But yeah, while he's gone, I think Thiago in the past few games with Fabinho in midfield has really shown what he is about. Well, again, said it last stream. I'll say it again. He's the best midfielder in the world, in my opinion. Central midfielder, attacking and defensive are different things, but central midfield, he's definitely the best one around. And I don't know. I think he's been really undervalued and underrated. And I think even next season he'll be even better than he was this one.
It's actually bad, yeah. How we got him for like 20 million, 25 mil. Thiago.
Yeah. We got him for 5 million up front. Like. Yeah, exactly. Chris looks great. Looks great. On
Cheers, bro. Yeah, I've got like my scrappy gym t-shirt on underneath. We'd love to see it.
It's fine.
Ozan Kabak, boys. Ozan Kabak. People forget how his impact in the January window. But now, obviously, I'm going for Diogo Jota. What a season he's had. And to be honest, it probably surpassed all the expectations of all of us. I thought he'd be coming in sort of a Minamino role. I loved him to bits. I really wanted him to come in. Like, I've actually got a tweet in January 2020 saying, Liverpool should go for Diogo Jota. And what happened, boys? We got him.
Honestly, yeah, same. Jota has been a player that I've actually been, kind of analyzing since he joined Atletico. when he joined Wolves and showed what he can do in the Premier League, I liked him even more. And trust me, that day when the Thiago signing was announced, that like 5 minutes later, it just comes out, oh yeah, they're going to sign Diogo Jota too. Like, first of all, I was really confused, but I was also really excited because I knew that he could be a phenomenal player, and he proved it to us so far this season. Well,
what's happening?
This entire season.
Exactly, boys. Exactly. So I think it's a pretty unanimous decision that Diogo Jota would be signing of the season. Yeah. I don't know, like, special mention to Thiago. The last like few weeks of the season, he was like world class, like sexy world class. But you got to shout out to him, mate. You got to shout out to him. Surprise of the season. Now, a lot of people have been giving this guy some credit. He even got in the Amazon team of the season this afternoon. For me, it will be Nat Phillips. I mean, coming into the season, he was probably 7th choice centre back. And to be fair, you know, he's come in and he's done an unbelievable job. I'm even of the advocating point. I've even changed my mind where I'm like, I actually want to keep him. Like, he hasn't even put a foot wrong. Nat Phillips. And let us know in the comments if you have experienced the same feelings as me with Nat Phillips. But I've gone for him as the surprise of the season. There's also a mention for like a surprise moment of the season, so we'll move on to that as well with the other lads. But Chedu, who's your surprise of the season?
Nat Phillips. I'm trying to think of something else because I know everyone's gonna say Nat Phillips. But you know what? I'll give a solid shout to Curtis Jones. We all knew that he was going to be, you know, more important to the team than he was last season. But he pushed some of our starting midfielders out of the team, like into the bench for a little bit at the start of the season. Of course, not much towards the end. He also got injured, but I think that what he showed was good when he started all those games like in a row. And you know, it's just to say something different than Nat Phillips because I'm pretty sure that Anthony and Adam are going to go with him as well.
Anthony.
You know what? I just completely forgot about Nat Phillips. I had Jota down, but I'm changing to Nat Phillips again. Obviously, I didn't even know who he was, I'm not going to lie. Next thing you know, secured his top 4 with Reece Williams at centre-back. So, smashed it.
Adam, say anything different, mate?
Do you know what? I was going to say Nat Phillips, and then I just kind of thought to myself, it's going to be so off the cuff, and people are going to think it's a bit mad, like. But I think surprise of the season for me has been James Milner. Just like
best player in the world.
Just surprising in the sense that the guy is like heading towards his mid-30s now, and I actually think I've seen him better when he's come on this season than he was last year. I don't know. I don't expect him, as he kind of gets older, to come on and do as good of a job as he does for Liverpool. It's crazy how the guy looks like he's about 5 years younger in regards to how he plays. Like, and we know that's the running joke and everything, but I just think it's amazing how he's still playing at that level anytime he comes on. It's not just a case of Milner's coming on to shore things up. Like, he does a job. Like, he does a job, and he makes some moves, going forward as well. Like, which I'm very surprised by. I know he doesn't do it too often, like, but I don't know, bit mad, I know, bit off the cuff, but sure, look, but of course, obviously, Nat Phillips is going to be a very close second to that.
There was a point in the season where we played the diamond, wasn't there? And Milner was on the right covering for Trent, and I thought he was sick in that role. Yeah. Like, it was away at Spurs, away at West Ham. He was insane.
I'm telling you, best player in the world.
Okay, Chedu. Okay.
He is though.
Imagine if Nat was 19. Yeah, I don't know. Tiedeman's news. Well, we'll be talking about that in another stream. This is an award stream, man. Come on, we can't be having that. Okay, so we're going to go on to our next award, which is going to be, drumroll please, moment of the season. Okay, and I think there's only one for me, but we'll start with you, Anthony. What are you going to go for, mate?
I think we all 4 of us got the same. Alisson's header against West Brom. Yep.
We can't even.
That's my bad. Yeah. After everything that's happened to Alisson, it was just sick, obviously, for him to get that last minute winner.
Shout out to Adam, who actually missed the goal.
Oh yeah, popped upstairs to get ready for this for like 5 minutes, and how foolish of me that was. You know what? I have to put it down to fate, though. You know, I have to put it down to, listen, I missed the goal. We got top 4. You know, it's just, I have to put it down to that, because if I don't, I'll lose my mind about the fact that I actually did miss the goal. So I have to like say it like that.
It's got to be Alisson, isn't it, Chedu?
You know what? I think I'll opt for something else. Looking at the fixture list, you know, part of me said Arsenal Liverpool 3-0 to us was the turning point, in my opinion, for the ending of the season, where we actually started doing decently once again. But then I said, no, Arsenal's an easy team. Villa, that was the other thing that came to mind. Trent's winner, phenomenal. But, you know, again, just to be the odd one out and not say Alisson's goal, I'll say us beating United at Old Trafford 4-2. I think that was phenomenal. I said it. I think I was on the post-match stream for that one. If I was, I probably said that during the last 20 minutes after after United scored their second, I was in my chair shaking because I could feel a third goal for them coming, and that final attack from Salah to put the fourth one away. Yeah, it has to be that for me is probably up there for the moment of the season.
Thank you, Dean Henderson.
Yeah, thank you, Dean Henderson, for not being a good goalkeeper. But I mean, deep inside our hearts, we all know it's the Alisson goal.
Yeah, definitely. As I said, the Trent moment as well. As Blackhammer's saying, Queven Kelleher has had an unbelievable season. Did I pronounce that right, Adam?
You did, yeah.
Yeah, thank you, man. I've been sweating over it all season. The thing is, before I actually knew how to pronounce it, I called him Chalmaine. But yeah, massive shout out to him. He's had a great season as well. But this is going to be a different one because I've got a different one for this one. I'm sure we're not all going to go for Alisson's goal of the season because technically it wasn't the best goal, even though he's a goalkeeper. But we'll start with you, Ched. Your goal of the season.
There are quite a few that I could mention. Of course, Trent against Villa. The goal against West Ham, that was also a good one. But you know what? I'll go all the way back to Liverpool versus Leeds 4-3. Salah's goal from the corner. I think that goal was absolutely phenomenal. It was top bins. Not every player can do that. It was like perfect angle, perfect shot. Really liked it. And you know what? Salah versus Palace, that's another good one. But you know what? If we're going to go that route, instead I'll say Henderson versus Palace. Because Henderson scoring always makes me happy.
Exactly. Adam?
Like before I came on, I had it as my goal of the season. Like what some of the guys in the comments are saying, Trent's goal against Aston Villa. I just think it was massive for us, you know, because it was one of those goals where, similar to last season, we were going to get down to the late stages of games. And we were really grinding out wins, like, you know, just last minute goals out of nowhere, like similar to Alisson's. And like obviously it's an incredible strike as well. Like, you know, Trent, you know, knows how to hit a ball, no bother. But yeah, I'm gonna go with Trent as well, because I mean it allowed us to kind of hit the ground running the last few games, like, and really got us onto that surge, like, just to get that mentality going again to kind of push for top 4.
I mean, the Trent's goal and Alisson's goal are probably two of the biggest points since Van Dijk got injured, where I've actually seen 2018 to 2019 Liverpool. Like that means those mentality monsters actually coming out, because before it was like 2 seconds left, you could still feel a goal is coming if we really need it. And that's how it felt in those 2 games. Maybe the one against West Brom, not so much. I'll be honest, I didn't have hope at the end. But the one against Aston Villa, I genuinely felt like a goal was coming. The first time in a long time. But yeah.
Yeah. Anthony, what are you going for?
I've got the Salah
Nathan Phillips on goal
against West Ham, so the counter attack. 3 little passes, Shaqiri long ball over the top, Salah touch and finish.
Yeah.
I feel like that was a very underrated goal. A lot of people look at that and say, "Oh, it's fine," but scoring a goal of that magnitude, it's a top class finish, even if it wasn't top ends.
I knew no one would pick mine, because I'm going to go back to Liverpool versus Lincoln back in I think it was September. I was watching it. I was watching it in a pub. Yeah, it's not Curtis Jones. It's actually Xherdan Shaqiri's free kick because it was absolutely top.
It was phenomenal.
Bins, boys. I'm talking. I was in the pub. I was expecting kind of a tough game. Like, even though it's Lincoln, okay, it is Lincoln. I was like, oh, Liverpool in the League Cup, we're actually going to lose here, boys. Like, it's actually going to happen. But Shaqiri put it top bins after about 7 or 8 minutes. And I was just like, get in, come on. Thank you.
I mean, you can also make a shout for both of Curtis's goals in that game.
And Taki, do not miss Taki. Thank you very much. I'm not going to read your name. I've seen it from.
I've made this mistake before. I did.
Remember that one guy from like months ago that just kept putting bait comments like that in the chat over and over again.
Thank you very much. So the next award for us is Academy Player of the Season. I know I watch the Academy regularly. I'm not sure about these guys.
I do.
But we'll start with I'm not. Anthony definitely doesn't. I can see from his face. What do you reckon, mate?
Oh, did you make me? Sorry.
Yeah, you, mate. Yeah, you.
Well, we already discussed it. But I don't watch the Academy, but I've heard good things about Musialowski, so Academy Player of the Season.
Adam.
Yeah, no, I'd agree. Like, I wouldn't probably watch Academy as frequently as yourselves, but I try and dip in and out of it and try and just keep up to date with everything. But yeah, Musialowski for sure. I suppose like it's obviously a great season for him, but like it's kind of great for like Liverpool as a whole, because it's one of these things where it's like, you know, it's a guy you can kind of look at and say, I mean, Christ, like he's not that far off, even like just getting into the first team squad, like which is what we haven't really had frequently in the last couple of years. I know we've kind of had Trent and now we have Curtis, but it's been kind of rare like that we've had like so many players kind of come in frequently in the last couple of years from the academy. So yeah, I think it's a big positive from that point of view. I mean, he's probably way off. I mean, we obviously have to protect these guys as much as we can as well. Like, but yeah, 100% Musialowski. But then again, I mean, like I said, you guys knows more. So I'm interested to hear what you have to say, if you agree or disagree.
Chedu.
I have a few to name. First of all, I see people in the chat saying Caden Gordon. I think he's. I didn't know much about him up until we signed him from Derby, but I mean, he has been class. First game for the under-23 scored as well, which was last game of the season for them. In my opinion, had he not gotten injured, I would have seen Leighton Stewart. Phenomenal youngster. He was destroying the under-18s league, went to the under-23s, and also did well. Sadly, got out with an ACL injury, similar to Van Dijk's, which is horrible for a player at such a young age. But yeah, of course, Musialowski. I'm a gigantic fan of him. Didn't do much in the FA Youth Cup final, but you know we move. But some other good shouts would be Balagassi and Frauendorf. I think those are two great youngsters as well. And you know it's a thing with English teams that because so many players are signed from other countries, usually those in the academies don't really get to shine that much. But I really hope that things change at some point, because I mean, listen, in my opinion, had Leighton Stewart not gotten injured, would have liked to see him get loaned out to his championship team. I think he would have done wonders. And I think some of these players need a chance at first team football somewhere. Yeah, for me, it's going to be Musialowski, but Leighton Stewart close second despite the injury. And you know, gonna go for also technically not in the team right now, but I think Harvey Elliott deserves a shout for Young Player of the Season as well. Did bits at Blackburn, phenomenal, and I can't wait to see him in a Premier League team next season. Yeah, definitely. The lad that I'd go for is Owen Beck. So a player who a lot of people didn't rate, and even like going forward, like I'm not sure he'll even get into anywhere near the Liverpool team. But he's a Welsh left wing back. He's done unbelievable things this season for the academy team. James Balaghese as well, as mentioned, brilliant. Stewart and Musialowski. But yeah, definitely Owen Beck for me. I think he's been just phenomenal in comparison to what people actually expected of him. So yeah, I'm going to go for another award now that I haven't actually told the boys about. Which is going to be fun. I'm going to go for Game of the Season, our favourite games of the season. I will start to give the boys a bit of thinking time.
I'm going to go for the Chelsea 2-0 away from home. I've not enjoyed a game as much as that this season because purely that's the one that I watched the whole way through. The Man United game I didn't actually watch. I was in the pub because it was my birthday. So allow me, boys. All right, allow me. I had to be. But yeah, that Chelsea 2-0, the way that Thiago just completely bossed that second half, like it was unbelievable. And that made me feel like we were title contenders, even though, obviously
we were up until Van Dijk got injured.
Yeah, and Fabinho at centre-back that game was unreal, man. He was genuinely unreal. But yeah, we'll go to you, Adam. What is your game of the season, mate?
I'm going to say United Liverpool at Old Trafford, just because it's huge win, obviously in kind of the pursuit for top four, but also first time we've won there in like 7 years since like 2014. So it's always massive to win against United in general, but to beat them at Old Trafford after they had dropped pretty much their whole starting 11 to play against Leicester, and then bring all the big boys back to play Liverpool at Old Trafford and get beaten 4-2, get smashed 4-2. Yeah, that has to be the game of the season for me. Like no doubt whatsoever. And I don't know. It kind of you could easily say it's been a weird season like that. All the hoodoo is broken. We've had our own great record at Anfield of 5 losses in a row. Like so, all the kind of hoodoo of the season that's gone before seems to be broken. But we turned up for that game. We knew what was at stake and we absolutely smashed them. So yeah, 100%.
Anthony, what are you going for?
I'll go with the same. Man United away 4-2. You know what? I went into the match very confident, and everyone was like, "Why the hell are you confident? We haven't won there in like 7 years since Suarez silenced Old Trafford." But I was just very confident for some reason, and obviously they performed very well and took on the 3 points. Plus, like Adam said, everyone thought United benched all their normal starting 11 against Leicester to end our top 4 hopes, and yeah, we finished third.
Chedu?
For me, it's an easy one. It's against Aston Villa, 7-2. What a game. Funny about that is I think every Liverpool fan saw United get destroyed 6-1 like 5 minutes before, and they were like, 6-1 against Spurs? And then get destroyed 7-2 by Aston Villa. But yeah, I'm going to say actually 7-0 against Crystal Palace to say something different. The game that gave us title hopes after Van Dijk got injured. Funny thing about that, I was actually awake all night before the game. So the game starts, I fall asleep, wake up 10 minutes later, and it's like 3-0, and I'm like, what just happened? But yeah, I think that was a phenomenal game. Great all around. I think probably our best performance this season. Love to see Minamino score. Yeah. When Salah gets benched, comes up and scores twice, that you've got a good game on your hands. But yeah, it was really entertaining. And screw that game for making me think we were going to win the league.
Okay, so we're going to get to the big ones now. Okay, the big awards. So we're going to go Young Player of the Season. So the category for this is under 23 players. So Nathaniel Phillips is 24, unfortunately. But we are going to go for Young Player of the Year. We're going to start with Anthony for this one. Who is your Young Player of the Year, mate?
I don't think there's really any contention. I'll go with Trent. Maybe Curtis Jones, actually. But yeah, first off the season, he weren't doing as good as he was previous seasons, but he stepped up second half of the season and smashed it.
Absolutely, especially in that final run-in, mate. I'm sure Adam and Chedu and I have said similar, but Adam, just in case, what are you going for, mate?
I'm going to go Curtis Jones. I think it's been a big season for him. He's, finally kind of come into his own in regards to kind of the amount of game time he's getting in the squad. Obviously, similar to Jota, there's kind of massive pressure on him going on, coming into this season. I know, obviously, he played a couple of games last season, but we were at a stage now where we weren't sure what the situation was with Gini. Obviously, Thiago missed a couple of games. Henderson missed a couple of games, obviously, kind of last half of the season. So, it was a huge season for him. And, yeah, at times I think he was a bit shaky, like, but for the most part, anytime he came on, he looked really impressive, and like for a guy at his age, like, it's only a sign that he's going to get even better. Like,
I think with Curtis Jones, the thing is we need to not overcoach him. Like, we need to make sure that his individual talent is showcased, because, like, if you look at the stuff that he did in the academy, it was just unreal. Like, he could dribble through a team and put it in the back of the net easy. And to limit him to like a genie role, for example.
Yeah, he needs to be parked.
Hating on Genie even when he's gone.
Front trailer.
Mate, Genie's not here anymore. Don't care. He's still getting the vibes. Chedu.
It's gotta be Trent for me. I think even if Phillips was in contention, it would still be Trent. He had a way better season than what people say he did, and ever since he got dropped from England, he became world class once again. I think from getting dropped by England to the last game of the season, he was for me without a doubt the best right back in the world. Phenomenal. Honestly, he gets a shout for one of our best players this season, despite people saying that he's had an underwhelming season. When even if you look at defensive stats, he has better stats than Reece James, I think Trippier and Walker too. So, heavily underrated player and overhated too.
Absolutely. I'm going to go for a man who's very much maligned. Been given a lot of disrespect this season by football Twitter. Reece Williams. Reece Williams, man. In terms of the biggest step that anyone's made, a player who's been playing in the 5th division of English football for Kidderminster Harriers, which is just down the road from me in real life. Honestly, you don't understand like the levels that you have to step from the 5th tier to the 1st tier to the top of the 1st tier to Champions League football. And he has done remarkably well. Yes, he's maybe lacking a bit of pace. Yes, he's maybe a little bit shaky sometimes, but he has been absolutely unbelievable. Him and Phillips together, 27 out of 30 points this season, which is ridiculous. Like, for two players who maybe arguably wouldn't get into championship sides at the start of the season, like they have gone and bossed it, man. Those two. So that's why I'm going for Reece Williams. In terms of the biggest step up as a young player of the year, he is my pick. And I don't think there's any debate on that one. Definitely, if we're not including Trent anyway. But finally, we're going to go for our player of the season. We're going to start with Adam for this one. Who is your player of the year, mate?
I'm going to go with Fabinho for my player of the year. I just think, he's a guy who he was kind of relied on heavily throughout the whole entire season. Obviously apart from that little spell when he wasn't fit, but he's just been incredible. He stepped up when we lost Van Dijk, when we lost Gomez, when we lost Matty again. He stepped into that central defensive role really well. I mean, the first couple of games he played, I thought he played incredibly well. Like, he was a guy that you kind of looked at and said, like, if he wasn't so instrumental in midfield, you could kind of leave him there for the season. But obviously, we needed him there in midfield. And then when we kind of had faith in Phillips to kind of keep him there, and obviously Williams then as well, I think when Fabinho transitioned back into his midfield role, and correct me if I'm wrong, I'm pretty sure ever since he's kind of come back into midfield, I don't think we've actually lost a game. I could be wrong in saying that, but I mean, I just think he's been a constant for us throughout the season. I know I probably have Salah as a close second, obviously, for everything he's done, but I just think if Fabinho wasn't there to kind of slot into the roles that we need him to go into, it could have been a very different season for us.
Yeah, Anthony.
I was split between Fabinho and Salah. I've gone with Salah, but that's just because obviously he's carried us with the goals for a long time. When Mane wasn't finishing, when Firmino wasn't finishing, he was the one that stepped up to score the goals. But Fabinho, obviously, shout out to him. He smashed it in centre back when we needed him there, and he's doing his thing in midfield again. Like Adam just said, we haven't lost a match with him in midfield alongside Thiago and Gini Curtis. So yeah, Salah gets it for me.
Black Hammer, I can't believe you're mentioning that man in that 3, bro. That's just disgusting. Chedu.
Just first of all, I want to say, nowadays when I just hear VAR, it's just a flashback to the game against Everton. I genuinely hate hearing that. But yeah, easy one for me. I think Ben Davis never got dribbled past, never scored. Never scored. No one scored against him when he's played. It's great play. No, I'm kidding. I'm hearing Salah, hearing Fabinho. I'm hearing Gini apparently. But no, I'm gonna say Jota. He single-handedly, just like Salah, kept us in the top 4 race. He came big at games where we needed him to come big. I mean, against Wolves, his former team scored the winner. Phenomenal signing. And again, had he not gotten injured in December, I think we would have gotten second in the league. So maybe even, call me crazy, but maybe even first. I mean, we were top of the league by the time he got injured, I believe, or after. So had he never gotten injured, he would have kept seeing him. He would have kept his form up, and I think we would have still been title contenders.
Yeah, I'm sorry, Matty. I've seen this comment. You can't beat availability as a reason for player of the season. I'm sorry.
If that's the case, then Robertson should be player of the season.
Oh, mate. Oh, gee, come on. Genie's just been so frustrating. Just allow me, okay? Just allow me to have my moment.
I mean, in my opinion, he's not even been top 3 midfielders for us this season.
No chance. No chance. And that's why he's leaving. He's not crucial enough. But anyway, Mo Salah for me.
The Genie.
Mo Salah for me has been unbelievable. It's like everyone else dropped their standards, but he kept his up. Like, it was just unreal. Like, especially in that January to March period where we were just so bad. He was top of his game, still world class, still carrying us. And he put out that tweet in February, didn't he? He said, we will act like champions. Mate.
World champions, by the way, 3rd place.
We acted like champions in the last 10 games. Like, he was unbelievable. And Pepe, if this happens,
it was actually a former Liverpool player. I'm pretty sure that said that Salah should.
David James. Yeah. Don't talk about David James.
What's he on about?
A wealth of knowledge.
Mate,
he's playing 4D chess.
Matty, aren't you the one saying that we're going to win the league next year? So we're not going to miss him, bro.
No, you don't disrespect Gini too much, man.
Listen, Gini was great for us.
Like one of the key
Gini was great for us.
The thing is, he was great, but he's very replaceable, in my opinion. So
yeah, listen, out of Henderson, Fabinho, Curtis, Thiago, and Gini's the most replaceable out of the 5. And it's just true.
I would have loved to have him stay on the bench, though. I mean, he would have been a decent player to kind of have in the squad and kind of be, relied on to. I would have liked to have him on the bench, to be fair.
Rumors said that he was given a contract offer. He wanted more money.
So he can leave. Fair enough to him. Fair enough. As I said in my Genie video, go watch the Genie video on the channel. Go on it. But yeah, thoughts for next season, gents. Obviously, Kanate's probably coming in. We're going to be talking more and more about transfers on the transfer room. But thoughts for next season? We'll do loads and loads of predictions throughout the summer. But Adam, how are you feeling about it at the moment, mate?
Sorry, I just want to actually go back to your point about Salah as well. It's actually crazy how kind of underrated he's been in regards to kind of awards and stuff. Like, I hear kind of names like, obviously Diaz got Player of the Year and Kane was behind them. I think it's crazy how Salah has not been mentioned more in the likes of those kind of awards just for what he's done this season. 30 plus goals, it's crazy. That's considered not good enough to be at least 2nd, 3rd place in Player of the Year. But anyway, that's
he has to be in the top 3 of the PFA, in my opinion. I think top 3 is Kane, Diaz, and Salah.
Yeah, but he won't be.
It won't be, but it should be.
Cara and Neville, just the amount of disrespect they give Mo, man.
My problem with Jamie is that he tries so hard to not be called Liverpool biased that he just goes the exact opposite way, and it seems like he's hating on Liverpool. That's the problem I have with him.
How you can't put Mo Salah in your team of the year is unbelievable. But yeah, Adam, how are you feeling about next season anyway?
Do you know what? I think every kind of summer we're always like nervous as Liverpool fans because we haven't got a clue if we're going to buy anyone. We really don't. Like, I mean, it's not a case of like, fair enough, we could get like one player in, but like every season's the same thing. Like you kind of hear it from Klopp, like it's not going to be a busy summer. You know, it's going to be fairly quiet. Like, I mean, we know it's probably not true. We know we're probably going to buy players, but yeah, I mean, it still makes you a bit nervous. I mean, I would love to kind of look at our bench next season, and to be brutally honest with you, and maybe some people agree, I'd love to look at our bench and not see Alex Oxlade-Chamberlain there, not see or Xherdan Shaqiri there, not see Joel Matip, not see Keita. I just think we've passed that now. You know,
the Ox disrespect, man.
I'm not having it. Don't get me wrong. I love Ox. I love Ox, but I just think he's served his time with us. Like I think we really need to start replacing those guys. Origi as well, as much as he is a legend, for what he's done in the past. Yeah, I think all these guys need to be shifted really. I think if we're going to have any chance of competing for the league next season, we need to get guys in who can genuinely either compete with the front three and the midfield, or at least kind of come in and do what Jota's doing now and come in and do a job for us. So I'm not going to go too far with the prediction for next season, but I mean, yeah, that's kind of how I think we're going to be able to compete anyway with the likes of City and maybe Chelsea. I do think we will be up there. We will, just based on our mentality and the current squad we have is absolute class when they're all fit. So, but yeah, we'll see.
Mate, just imagine Shaq Amino winning us the league, bro. Tacky and Shaq, bro.
I go crazy when Minamino scores. I am waiting for that man to just start playing like Salah, but I just don't know what's going to happen.
Minamino, thank you for the Japanese market, by the way. That's what we needed.
I'm not having that theory, bro. I'm not having it.
I mean, it's true. Come on. You have to admit that it's true.
No.
We had the chance to sign Haaland. We had the chance to sign Szoboszlai. We signed Minamino for the Japanese market.
No. But Andy, what's your thinking for the next season, man?
Man, I'm so confident. I always said, yeah, I think we've got individually way better starting 11 than Man City's. With a few more signings as well, because that's the key thing. Obviously, we need a squad. I think we could storm the league again like we did last season, but we're just going to have to see. And to be fair, City could sign Kane, which could change a lot of things. But yeah, I'm very confident going into next season.
You just got caned. Chedu.
The one thing I hate so much about City is the fact that they have so much money that they can make one of the best Premier League teams right now to just be on their bench. And listen, we need better squad players for the bench. You always see whenever there's a change done, it's usually done after the 75th minute for a player that goes on and doesn't do anything. We need better players. We need them signings. Of course, Konate. I mean, Fabrizio said 10 hours ago that in a few hours the release clause would be paid. So if it hasn't been done yet, it should be done at some point today. So the announcement should be sometime soon. Then apart from him, we need a new midfielder, attacker, maybe some backup for Trent. But Van Dijk and Konate will boss next season together. You know what? I'm going to go as far and say that we're going to get 114 points next season. We're going to win all 38 of our games. I am 100% sure of that. But now, on a serious note, I do think that we're going to win the league next season. I'm even going to throw it out there. As much as he hates it, I think we're going to win the FA Cup too. Would be a nice trophy to win. Henderson has never won it.
The FA Cup. I think we should go from that more.
The FA Cup is, I think it's heavily overhated and underrated. It's still a big cup to win. It's a prestigious one as well. When it comes to league cups around the world, I think it's the biggest one. Wouldn't be bad to win it. Yeah, I think we're gonna boss next season. And just you wait, because I believe in my heart that after we sell Ox for 80 million, after we sell Origi for 50,
Mbappe.
I think we're gonna sign Mbappe after those two sellings. I mean, Yeah.
My predictions for next season. As soon as the fans are back, we'll win every game at home. That's my. I think we'll win every game at home, if apart from maybe one or two, and we'll squeak the league, boys. We'll squeak the league by a couple of points, I think, and we're going to win a domestic cup. That's the plan. Harvey Elliott, Taki Minamino are going to carry us to the FA Cup. So we move. Anyway, gents, thank you very much for joining me for the awards live stream. We'll be back live again on Friday for a keep, sell, and loan stream. So that's going to be pretty fun. So make sure you join in for us for that. That's going to be great. And make sure you subscribe to the channel effectively. Get us to 900 now. That's the main target. But yeah, final thoughts from everyone. Adam.
Well, I think I kind of just probably summed up that, like, my part of that episode, even if I wasn't in it, in regards to who we should sell. So, you know, get rid of half of them. No, I'm just joking. Yeah, no, it's been an absolutely incredible season. I didn't see us finishing third 6 weeks ago, even 4 weeks ago. Jesus. But the fact that we did, look, worst champions finish
Third place, worst champions.
Yeah, worst champions. We really are. We really have to take a hard look at ourselves. Like,
Anthony, final thoughts, mate, before we go.
Mate, the season has been insane. You know what? Throughout the tough period, January up until March or whatever, I was growing a few grey hairs, man. I was getting stressed about the fun and everything. But you know what? Top four. No, finished third actually. So yeah, fantastic end to the season.
Chedu? Don't say it.
I'm resigning Mbappe.
I will say it. Mbappe's coming. That's the first one. Second one, we missed an award. Worst player of the season, Vinicius Jr. But, you know, just going to leave that out there.
Yeah, okay.
But no, overall, not the greatest of seasons. Fantastic end, though. We're going to come back next season. I can see it. And I'll see you in July 27th for the Haaland signing announcement.
And I will say Genie's going, but we're still going to win the league. Thank you very much for watching, everyone, at the LFC Transfer Room. And we will see you in the next stream on Friday. And check out the video coming out tomorrow. See you in a bit.